the best.
Same to you. So very good afternoon to all the educators who have joined us on the day number 2 for the International Bootcamp on coding artificial intelligence and robotics for the school educators. I heartily welcome you all in the today's session. We would be starting our today's session shortly. Very good evening, good afternoon to everyone. I can see number of educators have joined from all around the world. It would be great if you can send us hi and also your name and the country. Very good evening, Satya, Nidhi, Shilpa. Very good evening to everyone. So today also with me we have Tina. Hello Tina, how are you?
Hello, Ayush. Good afternoon. I'm good. Thank you. We welcome you once again to this International Bootcamp program on behalf of STEMpedia and ARTPARK.
Sure, we are just going to start the session in 1 more minute. We are just waiting other educators to join in. So very good evening to all the educators who are responding us on the YouTube live. We can see your comments and it's really amazing to see the people have joined us from all around the world, from Croatia, India, and many other parts of the country. So till the time we are going to start, let me just tell you a very important part that, as you know, the means of communication we are trying to communicate through is the Telegram. So we want all of you to please join our Telegram group, join this international community in order to keep you updated with all the details of the bootcamp and solve your queries 24/7. Please join this Telegram group. I know many of you have already joined in. Still, if you are new, if you haven't joined in, please join in so that we would be able to keep you updated with all the details. So talking about yesterday's session, it was really amazing. And it was really amazing to see the wonderful educators joined us through the live sessions, and in the Telegram group, they have shared so many things.
So many things we can share that we are in fact, we are extremely motivated by seeing all those posters and all. So keep doing, educators. Share your post and motivate us by showing all your activities.
Yeah, so I can see the educators have joined, like Ryan Lee. Hello, Ryan. Vaisa, thanks for commenting on the YouTube live. We can see that you have joined. That's really amazing. So as I mentioned, the Telegram group is not only for the updates. We are talking to each other. We are solving each other's query. And it was really amazing to see yesterday that even the educators were helping each other. And that is what always motivates us, that to bring you together in one platform. So moving ahead, I would request Tina to please just give us a small info about all the collaborators. As yesterday said, it is not, of course, a one-man thing. So yeah, Tina, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Ayush.
It, so I would like
So,
to,
yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
International Bootcamp is hosted by STEMpedia and ARTPARK, AI and Robotics Technology Park by IISc Bangalore. We have been supported by Niti Aayog, that is Atal Innovation Mission, that is a part of central government's education system in India. It's been pleasure to have All India Educators Forum and American Indian Foundation to be as our community partner and helping us to reach our maximum. We have been supported by many international partners also, like Purpose Smart Education Palestine, in National Institute of Education Singapore, Apex Coding Academy Egypt, ITA Tunisia, and EduStream UAE. Now, I think Ayush, if you could brief us the exact objective of this bootcamp so that our educators will be clear on what they are going to take away after this bootcamp. Over to you, Ayush.
Yeah, sure, Tina. And I would also like to thank from my end to all the collaborators, all the educators who have taken their valuable effort for making this boot camp successful. As we know, of course, a boot camp always comes with an objective that has to be fulfilled. And this time again, we have an objective to empower the educators all around the world on making them understand about coding, artificial intelligence, robotics, and of course enhancing their 21st century skills. As this bootcamp is not only about the theoretical knowledge or the lectures, but we are focusing on hands-on experience on the latest technologies like artificial intelligence and robotics. As there was a small question before the bootcamp by the educators that even if we are not from this background, should we join? So we highly motivate and recommend you to join these boot camps because it's not important that what your background is. We are trying to get you the things from very basics. Of course, we want all the teachers to become an ambassadors of AI learning in their institution and the schools. And I'm very, very happy to share that I think we are going in the right direction to fulfill our objectives. As yesterday we had a session and there was an amazing collection of projects sent by the educators in the Telegram. So I would like to share your project. So here you can see this is a small collage of the wonderful and the smiling faces showcasing that how they are enhancing their AI skills. Even if you will see there are many kids here. That means the natures have started their working, empowering themselves and empowering the kids. And that is one of the major objective of the bootcamp. So I hope you would be very happy to see this smiling face. We want you all to keep sharing your projects into the Telegram, submitting your assignments into your dashboard. And I hope you might be able to see some of your faces as well. Now, coming to the next, a very important part, that what are the takeaways? So of course, as we discussed yesterday, that here in this boot camp, we want all the educators to learn together to make it successful and by joining into the educators community so that they can acquire the 21st century skills, and that is very, very important. Apart from it, you would be getting an AI and robotics teaching resources, which is going to help you to teach the different students around the world. Apart from it, a very important thing that we have also planned to share you the access for your students, and that is something would be a surprise. We want you to be with us towards the end of these boot camps so that we would be helping you to share so that we can share you the access for your students so that of course they can also get an opportunity to learn all of these things. Apart from it, all the successful assignments submitted in the dashboard and the attendance marked in the feedback form would be given a badge and a certificate accredited by ARTPARK, STEMpedia, and the STEM.org. I hope that is going to very excited for all of you. Now, of course, today is the second day of the boot camp, but let's take a small overview of the boot camp journey so that we should know from where we have started, where we are currently now, and where we have to go. So to share views on it, I would request Tina to please share us some light on the details of the boot camp.
Sure, Ayush. We have two boot camps coming line by line. The first level is coding and artificial intelligence. In this coding and artificial intelligence, we have 6 sessions. Session 1, we had this session yesterday, that was Introduction to Artificial Intelligence. Session 2 is all about object detection, that will be dealing with some object detection techniques. We'll be doing the activities of object trackers and all. In session 3, we'll be dealing with human body detection. Here we'll understand different human poses. We'll make a game which is controlled by our hand itself. In session 4, Ayush, next slide, if you could change the slide. Yeah, thank you. Language processing. This topic is very exciting, and we'll be dealing with text classifier, home automation techniques, and we'll be doing activity sentiment analyzer. And in the 5th session, we'll be learning all about machine learning, created and all, and we'll be doing activities animal classifier. And in the last session is our closing ceremony.
Yeah, that's superb. Now, Tina, I would like them to take it forward for next boot camp actually. So I hope you might have got teachers a little idea about how exactly we are going to move ahead in this learning journey. That is, we have started yesterday with introduction to AI. Today is object detection. We are going to learn about human body detection in tomorrow's session. And in the 23rd of June, we are going to work on natural language processing, machine learning, and it's going to be really fun. As I mentioned, we are going to do a hands-on activity related to each of the topics. Now coming to the level 2 boot camp, as mentioned by Tina, we have 2 levels. So in this boot camp, basically we would be working on the robotics. Starting with 27th of June, we would be starting on introduction to robotics. Then learning and understanding about one of the best technologies and the best use cases of artificial intelligence, that is self-driving robots. Then we would be moving ahead with some of the industry level concepts of line following robot, AI delivery bot, gesture control robot, and then we would be having, of course, a closing ceremony for all of you. So I hope you would be very excited for this and for this journey. Now, I wanted to tell you about the learning management system, that is, of course, your own dashboard. Because it's really important that during this journey, you follow us properly, you follow us correctly, and you don't get diverted or you don't get in problem. Okay, so we would be working with, I would be showcasing you the things from very basic. So the first important thing, where exactly these live sessions are going on. So dear educators, these live sessions are currently live on YouTube. You might be watching us on YouTube. There is no separate link or any Zoom link to be joined in. The only way you can watch us or of course learn from us is the YouTube or your own dashboard. Now let's understand how you would be reaching to your dashboard. So there are many educators who have already enrolled into the bootcamp and have their username and password with them. But still, if you don't have your username and password, you don't need to worry. The reason is that you can still enroll to this bootcamp. So let me just open up. So this is the website, that is ai.thestempedia.com. Once you will reach here, you would be able to see this option, that is Educators Bootcamp. You have to click on this Educators Bootcamp and you will get an option to register now. Once clicking on register now, you have to fill in all the details, and this is the username and the password what you are going to create. So teachers and educators all around the world, you don't need to worry. If you have your username and password, that's good. If you don't have it, you can still register. The registration date is not gone. It's still till 21st. Okay. Once you have registered to this, you would be navigated inside your dashboard. That means you would be signed in. So right now you can see I have already signed in as an Ayush. Now, in this bootcamp, you can click on my courses and of course get an idea that of course you will getting the courses inside your my courses. But if you are not able to see any course, again, you don't need to worry. Only the thing is you have to click on enroll now so that you can enroll into the courses. And once you click on this my courses option, let me just mark it. So this is the my courses option. Once you will click on this my courses option, you would be able to see both the camps, that is level 1 if you have enrolled in level 1, and the second course only if you have enrolled in level 2. Okay. Now coming to back the part, once you have enrolled, you would be able to see your boot camps in my courses. Once you click it here, inside your bootcamp, you would be able to see the content. So here, educators, this is basically your own course, that is AI Encoding Bootcamp for Educator Level 1. All the information would be inside here only. So let me just show you this. So here, the first is the course. So we have already done with the first lesson, Introduction to AI. I would like to tell you, still if you have not done your first session, you don't need to worry, because this LMS or this system is going to be with you for coming next 2 years. And all the sessions which are live in YouTube are embedded here. That means you can easily see these videos inside here in your LMS, in your dashboard. You have to mark your attendance and give your feedback once you have seen the video and understood through the content. How to go ahead in the content? Once you will start your learning journey through the content inside, once you have read the things properly, you would be getting an option to mark as complete. Once you have clicked on mark as complete, you would be navigated, So once you would be moving to next phase, you would be able to see the activities. Here in the activities are the daily activities which we are doing in hands-on. And here I know some of the educators found little difficulty yesterday, but your issues have been resolved. So let me just zoom into here and let me just show it to you that this is the assignment submission area where you have to write the name of the assignment. So now what you can do is you can write your own name and write the activity name. And then you have to paste the URL. Once you have pasted the URL, you have to click on submit and your assignment would be submitted. Once you have completed this, you would be able to move to the next session, that is today's session, that is object detection, which we are going to cover it today. So again, as I said, the same video which you are watching us live on YouTube right now, You can also watch it live here in your dashboard. Okay. Apart from it, you have to fill the feedback and attendance form. Once you have done it, you have to click on mark complete and you would be moving ahead in your session. I hope you all have got a fair idea how exactly you have to navigate through the website. Coming to the part, if you have not received an email, so you don't need to worry. There are two important things to be noted down, that we have shared the emails on the email IDs which you have shared us through the Google form or through directly emailing us. In case you have not yet received the email, just please check the two important points. Check your spam folder as well, because sometimes the email don't directly land in your inbox. It can land into your spam inboxes as well. Apart from it, you can see sometimes automatic email system hides the text with the three dots. So do not forget to click on those three dots to see the text below. As I said, still if you are facing any issue, don't worry, just email us on education@STEMpedia.com and we will help you to get all the things resolved. Apart from it, a very important thing, as I mentioned, that you can also join the doubt sessions. So doubt sessions are the sessions which is conducted by our educators in order to help and resolve your all queries, for which the links can be easily seen on the course area. So when you see on the course area, you would be able to see the doubt session link shortly. Now, let me just take you back to an important part that we want you to join the doubt session. We want you to join the Telegram group. And that's really very important, as I said, because we are contacting you, we are taking your doubts, we are taking your queries, we are sending you all the updates on the Telegram group. So please feel free to join this, and this is really must for every educator. So I hope all the things are pretty clear, right, to move ahead with our session. And before I move ahead, okay, I would request Tina, and I think with my Tina, along with our wonderful educator, Mr. Vivek, have collected some doubt of all of the educators shared by them in their doubt sessions as well as in the Telegram group. So before we move ahead with our today's learning, I would like to take those doubts so that we are ready, solved with each of the doubts, and would be moving ahead on the part of learning.
Okay, sure, Aish. Shall we start our doubt session? Sure. Yeah. The first question is, what is the difference between events and control palette?
Okay. So that's a really nice question, actually. If you will go with the words, okay, let me just share my PictoBlox screen and just give an idea. So I hope my PictoBlox screen is visible. Yeah. So now the question is, what is difference between the events and the control palette? So with the name, if you'll understand that events is something related to the triggering part, while controlling, it means that it is going to control the thing. There is a big difference. Like if I say that I want, let me just drag this block to center and just zoom it for everyone. And if I said that I want to control this block in a various manner, then in that case, I'll go to the control palette and all the blocks you are going to see are here. An important thing to notice here is, if you will see, maximum blocks are the blocks in which a different blocks can be situated inside. That means somewhere they are I should say they are controlling the blocks inside them. But if in case I talk about events, of course, that is a triggering block. And if you'll see on the event block, you will see maximum blocks are the head blocks. That means they have to be situated on the top of the complete script. because they are going to, I should say, trigger the complete event. That means they are somewhere working as a single button to work with a complete script. So yeah, so I think
Yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, Ayush. So our next question was the same, like why we need that green flag. Okay, that is already cleared, I guess.
I
The
would
third,
actually I
yeah,
like to answer that. Okay,
okay. I will
so
repeat the question.
yeah,
Why do we need the green flag block at the top of the code, and what is its use?
okay. So that's really actually an amazing question again, because it's always important to know why. Okay, if the question is coming from the educators, that is why we need this, that means they are really understanding the thing. So now talking about the green flag. So there are 2 to 3 very important things noted down for the green flag block is the first. If you'll observe, sometimes in PictoBlox or maximum time in PictoBlox, we click this block to execute something. That means if I go to motion and I bring a move 10 step block, okay, I'm not connecting these two blocks right now. But if in case I want this block to be executed, okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on move 10 step. And you can see with every of my click, I'm able to see some difference on the stage. But if in case I say that to, I want it to be done on the full screen mode, how can I do that? Of course, I don't have a place to click the script. And that is one of the major reasons where we are connecting this block to the when green flag is clicked, so that if even I am in a full screen mode, I can just click on green flag and work it out. Apart from
That's
it, yeah. So apart from it, actually, there is one more use case where we require to use the when green flag is clicked is when we want to work with a multiple sprite. That means if we have one more sprite here and we want the things to be worked together just with a single button. And at that moment, of course, you can use green flag clicked in the multiple scripts and you can get them all executed just in a single time by clicking on the green flag.
that's cool, Ayush. So we have next question. How to turn on the camera if it is not working exactly directly with the blocks?
Okay, so now the question comes up that why exactly it's not working. Okay, so you have to understand that whenever you are executing any block in the PictoBlox for switching on the camera, it is going to somewhere ask a permission inside the device, whether it can be your smartphone or it can be your laptop desktop. So you have to make sure that no other application is using the camera of your device. Still, if in case you want to check whether the things are working properly or not, what you can do is, let me just turn off my camera first and show it to you. So now if you're working on laptop desktop, you can click on settings, go to audio video settings, and here you would be able to see your camera name. If you are able to see your camera name, that means it is somewhere getting accessed by the PictoBlox. But if in case it is not visible, that means it is somewhere getting utilized by some different application that has to be stopped by you by going into the settings of your PC. Similarly, when working on the smartphone, you need to check from the setting that whether you are able to access the camera, because in smartphones sometimes your camera is getting used in some different applications. So I hope the answer is pretty clear.
Just
Tina,
say,
yeah.
yeah. So we have one more question, Ayush. What is the use of add extension block and why we are using it?
Yeah, sure. So that's in like again, and I think the questions asked by the educators are really very good, and I think I would like to answer them little, taking little more time. The reason behind the add extension. See, whenever you are working on any user interface, and as it is, as you know, this is for making the students learn about coding. At the initial phase, we don't want them to get like little scared of so many things at a time, right? So what we want there is that we can make small libraries and keep it at our backside, like a library in your school, as we don't want them to take all the books, even if that is not required at the time what they are working as a project. So what can be done is they can go to library, and that we are calling it as an add an extension. Once you click on add an extension option, what happens here is you are able to see different extensions which consist of different blocks. You can directly relate it to the library of your school, that each book with a different subject have a different content inside it. That is not required every day, so that of course the burden of the students can be reduced. So that is the reason we have kept it all in the add extension option, and it can be used as per the utilization of the students and the teachers. Yeah.
Now, so you can take over the session.
Yeah. So I think the majority of the things are clear, but still don't worry. I think we have Tina has some more questions to be asked that we can take it towards the end. Okay, and we will take those things towards the end, and let's start our with today's learning journey. Yeah, hello, am I audible? Yeah, I hope there are, I think there are little more questions by Tina, which we would be taking towards the end. Now we can go ahead with our learning part. So today's topic, as you know, that is the object detection. Okay. I hope, yeah, I hope I'm clear, and
Yeah, you're audible, Ayush.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a time to explore the activities. Let's
Yeah.
move ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, sure, sure. So thanks teachers and educators for sending yes, that your responses of course keep me motivated, and give me motivation that yeah, you guys are able to hear me clearly. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the today's topic, that is object detection. So a very important part in the object detection is, what is object detection? We have been hearing about the object detection from very, very long. Okay, we know that this is used in self-driving cars, this is getting used in crowd detection and many other there are many other implementations of it, I should say. But how exactly it is working and what exactly it is, it's very important to know. Again, taking the same example which we discussed yesterday of a self-driving car, because for me, this is one of the favorite examples, as I said. So what happens here is you can see that the car is able to detect the different objects, okay, and is also able to label them. So the first and the important point I would like to tell you, that object detection is not a single particular thing. That means it is not only a thing like a face detection, that if detects the face, it is a face detection. But in object detection, there are certain steps, or I should say certain different activities happening that collaborative makes it object detection. That means it includes from detecting the object, labeling the object, and also naming that object. That means once the object is detected by the machine should be able to locate that object with the bounding box, and should also be able to name the, I should say, name the object. And that combines and technology of object detection. Basically, object detection generally works on the digital photographs or the digital images, or it can be video. Although whether it's a video or a digital image, it is always going to be digital. Like even if I'm live right now, but I am digitally present with you, right? Now, I think we have understood about the object detection, that what exactly it is. Now, it's really important to understand how exactly it works, right? So here is a very basic three-step object detection concept, which I want all the educators to understand. That is, object detection never works, as I said, just in one frame. It has number of steps to be completed. The first important thing, what happens when there is a digital image in front of the machine? What does exactly happens that at the end it is able to find the object is generating the small segments in the input. That means whenever there is an image, the machine is going to segregate into small segments so that it can observe and it can work on those small segments to find the different objects. The next is the feature extraction is carried out for each segmented rectangular area. So in the first image, if you'll see that there are small squares or a rectangle on the image, for each and every particular square, the machine is going to extract the features to find the object. The next part would be, it would be coming up with many overlapping boxes, like you can see in the second image, where in a single person image, if you'll see, there are 2 to 3 different boxes. Basically, what exactly it is doing? So that is trying to find an object. And you can say like it is working on an algorithm where it is finding an object in a segregated area and then combining their calculations, they are coming up with a final decision. Yeah, we can say this is one of the objects which a machine knows. That in the final, you can see it comes up with after the combining the calculation of the multiple boxes, comes up with a final boxes that, yeah, this is a person, this is a baseball bat, and this is a ball. And I think now you might have got how exactly the object detection works. Still, if you have any questions to be asked on the concept, please feel free to put it forward. I would be very happy to answer them each and every question. And why exactly we are putting up so much of time in the concept is because it's the necessity of the 21st century that we are not only just making the project but understanding the concept so that we can use it for I should say completing different SDG goals and different of our projects. So I hope everything is pretty clear. If it is clear, you can just please write on the box, it is clear. That would give me an idea that everything is going good. Now, coming to the next point, that what can be the applications of the object detection. Okay, so for this, I would request Tina, if you can share some light on the different applications of the object detection. Yeah, hello. Oh, okay, thanks Ritu ma'am, Raghav sir. It's clear. Thanks Neetu ma'am. Thanks for responding on the chat. It's amazing to see your responses. Priya ma'am, thanks to all the educators. Yeah, Tina, can you hear me? Okay, so no worries. I will take you forward with the applications of the object detection. Talking about some of the, I should say, applications of object detection is video surveillances, crowd counting, pedestrian detection, self-driving cars. Now to understand in depth, you can just relate it to some of the things if you might have already seen in the different malls or in different area which are under surveillances right now. If you have seen the drones going on top of the cities, detecting the people, right? And that is a part of a crowd counting. That was one of the things which were taken care by the government when there was a COVID, right? So there were drones all over the cities which were finding hope there is no crowd or there are not more than 1 or 2 people standing together. Similarly, video surveillances help us to keep the Public places protected with the weapons as well as some unethical people. Apart from it, pedestrian detection. So for this, you can directly watch the image in front of you. That is going to give you an idea. Basically, the different cars are able to detect whether there is a pedestrian in front of the car or not. Apart from it, as I said, the self-driving car, and it's one of the best use cases where it is using an object detection, not only to detect the people, but also able to detect the different objects surrounding it, so that it can take a proper decision to take where to take turn, where to put the brakes and other things. Okay, so now I think the concepts are the pretty clear. Now it's time to move on with the activity part. So I'll just share my screen. Yeah, so I hope my PictoBlox screen is visible to everyone. Yeah, of course, that's a really pretty good example, Mr. Ravinder, like Tesla car. Yeah, of course, that is pretty good example of a self-driving car. So now coming to the hands-on part, it's very important that we make an activity, do the things and understand the things much more better way. So now the first thing, as right now my PictoBlox is visible, as I said, we would require to use the extension. But for the extension is one more important thing, which is very necessary. That is you have to sign into PictoBlox. And how you can sign into PictoBlox, let me just show you the process. On the left-hand side corner, you would be able to see a sign up option. So on the left-hand side, you are going to see this option of sign in. So you have to basically click on this sign up button. Here, you have to click on the register. If you are already registered, you can use your username and password. Let me again remind you, this is a separate registration in the PictoBlox. This registration has to do nothing with the registration what you did before for the bootcamp. So your username and the password which you used to log in into your dashboard is not going to work here. This is a separate registration, especially and only for PictoBlox. So you have to make sure, do not forget again to register for PictoBlox separately. So click on register. Once you have clicked on register, click on teacher. And here you have to share your details like email ID, the username you want to keep, the password you want to keep, and you have to confirm the password. Once you click on create my account, an email would be triggered on your email ID. And once the email you have received an email ID, you verify yourself, you would be logged into the PictoBlox. Again, I would like to tell you, I would be taking care of the educators who are doing these things in the smartphone. I would be letting you know all these same things, how you can do it in your smartphone. So you don't need to worry about it. Now, so let's sign in into the PictoBlox to move ahead. So I will just click on sign in, as I already have my username with me. So I will just use that to sign into the account. Once I have given my username and password, I'll click here to sign in. Once I have signed in, I'll get a notification that yes, you have signed in into the PictoBlox. Now, as today we are going to work on object detection. The important thing is, of course, we need an extension. So let's go to the bottom left corner to add an extension. So this is an add extension option. I hope everyone is pretty clear with this. You have to click on add extension option, and I want this answer from all the educators actually, that as you already know, we are going to work on object detection. So which extension would be the best to use in today's activity. So can you please tell me the name of the extension I should use in today's activity? So yes, the answer is definitely the object detection. Yes, so this is the object detection extension which we have to use. Here in every extension, you would be able to see a small idea of that extension, or I should say small detail of that extension, that how exactly it is going to help me. So that is, if you'll see in object detection, it is mentioned identify objects from the image. And that is why we are going to use object detection. And thanks to all the educators, Ritu, Amruta, Narmada, Pushpendra, Natasha, Loner, Sanjeev, Anamika, Garima, Dr. Simpi for sharing your answers on the chat. Now, moving ahead, let me just click on this extension. Once I'll click it, I would be asked to wait for a while. Of course, it requires a time to load all the model details. You might be thinking, what are the model details? If it is saying, please wait while the models are being loaded, what exactly that means? That means models are the basic calculation which is done after analyzing the certain things by the PictoBlox. Now, once I have added here, you can see the different blocks over here. Again, in these blocks, you would be able to see some categories. In these categories, you can see the first is settings and the second is analyze image. Now, what exactly this means? So you can understand the settings blocks are going to help you to set the environment to do the things, while the analyze images blocks are going to somewhere help you to directly get you the output. Now, if you have already seen some things in the presentation, that what is most importantly required to locate the object in the screen. If I say you are making an object detection, so what would be the most important thing to locate the object? How you can locate the object, I should say, in your screen? You would require some mathematical shapes, I should say. So one of the shape is rectangle or a square. That would be required to locate the different objects in the image, whether it can be live image or it can be an image uploaded to the PictoBlox. So here, right now you can see I have a sprite as Toby. Of course, today I won't require Toby because I would be somewhere working with a different sprite. How can I do that? I can have a new sprite from the sprite library. Before that, let me just delete this Toby by clicking on this delete option. Once I have deleted, I would go to the sprite library from the left-hand side bottom corner and choose a sprite option. And here there are many sprites. So if you'll go and if you'll see here, one of my interested, I should say, the one sprite which I can be interested in to locate the object can be this square box, right? So I'm going to click on the square box option. Now here you can see that the new box has came up on the screen. Now what can be done here, right? So for this is going to help me basically to locate the different objects on the screen. Now let's make a small, I should say, a script to understand how exactly we are going to make this activity. Okay. Yeah. So now the first thing, if I say that I need objects on the screen or I need some live footage, how can that be taken care is again two ways. The first is I can directly give a live footage. So let me just zoom a little out on this block. So I can give directly a live footage. For that, I need to stop my camera here, and let me just bring down my camera to PictoBlox. Okay, so I can do that very easily by clicking on this option, turn on the camera. So in this way, what will happen? It is going to detect the objects through the live medium, right? So anything what I'm going to do here is it is going to detect the object from the live medium. Apart from it, there is another way which I would like to show you. So first, let me turn off the camera. I can have any image from the internet to find different objects, and that can be done by choosing an upload backdrop option. So you can choose upload backdrop option, and here you would see choose a backdrop option actually, and in this you would be able to find upload backdrop. So once I'll click on upload backdrop, I can have any images from my PC. I'll just click it here and I'll get this thing ready on my stage. A very important thing here you have to see, once you upload the image, right now the selected area is backdrop. Okay, but you know, when you want to go to blocks and you want to I should say you want to use the object detection and blocks, you have to click on the sprite level. So there are two different levels of selection. One is stage selection. We are not going to use a stage selection because in stage selection, we cannot use the motion blocks. And this is very, very important to note. If your stage is selected, you are not going to get motion. For this, you have to select the sprite level. Once you click back to the sprite level, you would be able to see all the blocks came up back to the initial position. Now here, this is my square box. I know it. Okay. Now what I want is, I want it basically to locate the different objects. As we know, in the artificial intelligence, it's really very important. The first thing what has to be done is analysis by the machine. So let's not waste the time and bring on our first block, that is analyze the image. So let me just zoom it so that it is very visible to everyone. So I'm going to use this block, that is analyze image. So I'm going to use this analyze image from, I can use the stage, as right now my image is on the stage. Okay, and let me just see what happens. Let's understand the different blocks actually. If I click it here, it is saying done. Let me check, get the number of objects. So it is saying the number of objects are 3. Let me check the class of the object. This is a person, means my machine is able to find a person in the image. Also, my machine is able to find the truck in the image, and also my machine is able to find again the person. That means 2 persons it has found, right? So yeah, of course, it is basically giving you the different, I should say, name of the classes. But this is exactly not the way we make the script. This is, you can say, is taking down the output only. But to make it little automated, what we can do here is we would start with triggering the event with when green flag is clicked. When green flag is clicked, I want my machine to analyze the objects. Okay, what is the next part? As you know, there are different objects right now currently in the images. Okay, and that is why we would require to make a variable. You have to understand why I'm making a variable. That is really very important. Since I want my sprite to say the name, and at a particular time it can say one name. So to get the name updated again and again automatically, like if my this sprite goes to this truck and says this is a truck, again the next time it should go to this human and say this is a person. The next time it should go to, I should say, this person and say this is a person. So you can understand it has to take the multiple names, and that is something needs an updation. So to create, to make the updation in the sprite level, I'm going to create a variable. So variable, what is variable? Variable is like a box where you can store the numbers, you can store the strings, that is some alphabetical, I should say, words and letters. For as of now, my point of interest is creating a variable with the number thing. So I'll just click on make variable. I'll give that name of object. Okay. And now I'll click OK. So I can see now a new variable has been created, name object, that says 0. Okay. And I'm going to set this variable to 0. And I'll change it to object. Now you have to understand why I'm setting it to 0. Because there might be a chance that in this image there are 3 objects, but in the next image there might be 4 or 5 or 6 objects. But I don't want those numbers to be increased in addition to the analysis of the last image. I'll repeat this. I don't want the numbers to be added in with the numbers of the objects analyzed in the previous image. That is why every time I'm starting with green flag, I want my machine should get a reset and make its number of objects to 0. Now, what I want is, I want some blocks to control the things that can help me to move my sprite to different objects. So I'm going to bring down a block from a control palette that says repeat. So I want to repeat a certain step. Now let's not first get into repeat part. Let's get into what exactly I want. So I want, as I said, that my sprite should go in different places. A very important point. That means my sprite should basically, let me just hold the sprite. Yeah. So my sprite should go to the different locations. One thing. The second thing, my sprite should be able to get the size of this object. It should not be that even the truck is big, still it is coming up with, I should say, the small box, right? It should be something that it should cover the complete object. That means the size of the object. So now we have two things. One is location of the object, size of the object. And a third important point here is that I want basically it to be saying the name of the object, that what object or exactly this object is. So I think you might have got that we require 3 things under the repeat that is going to help me to basically locate, get the size of the object, and let me know the name of the object. So let's work it out. So for the size, as we already discussed on the first day, that if we are working with any of the size, shape, we have to go to the looks. So let's go to the looks palette and bring down a block which says set size to. So I'll bring this block, and this is going to help me to set size of the sprite as per the object detected. Okay, so I'll just bring down the block, and from the drop down I'm choosing width. Okay, right now I'm choosing width because you have to understand that I want my sprite size to be equal to the size of the width of the object detected. Now what's the second part? This was the first, that I want size. The next is I want the location. Now if you are working on location, no other palette better than motion can help me in it. So I'll go and I'll bring a block which says go to an X and Y position. So I'm going to use this block that I want my sprite to go to the X and Y position. Can you please tell me, educators, that where I should move my sprite in order to catch the location of the object? In this question only I have given the answer actually. So if you think, yes, I want my sprite to go into the exact location of the object. An exact location can be traced only if I have the X and Y position, that is the coordinates of the object detected. So I can use a block which is going to help me to know the coordinates. So the same block, I will choose X position, and the same block I'm going to use and I'm going to choose Y position. So this is going to trace down the object detected or object detected, and my sprite will just go and overlap that object. The next thing, I wanted to say the name of the object, right? So for the name of the object, again, I need to go back to say option. So I'll go to look, I'll bring down this say block, I'll add it here. And now what I'm going to do here is I want the name. So name in the artificial intelligence, generally we called it as a class of the object. So I'm going to put it here. So I hope these things, three things are pretty clear to everyone. Can you please respond me on the chat? Is these three blocks are pretty clear to us, that why we are using these three things to set up the size as per the width. We are setting up the location as per the X and the Y position analyzed by the machine of the object, and the name of, we want our sprite to say the name of it. So I'm waiting for your answers. Okay. So now still if you, okay, yes, clear, I got the, okay, that's amazing. So now moving ahead, a very important part. Of course, I wanted to, I want these things to be repeated. Yes, yes, very understandable. Thanks educators for responding me on chat. That again, as I say, makes me clear that everything is going as per I have planned and you are getting every question. Still, if you have any questions, please feel free to put it forward. We are here to answer each and every question, so that each and every question asked by your students, you would be able to clear them all. Okay, so now let me just click on these three blocks. Let's see what happens. So did you saw that it went to a person? But what about other person? What about other person? What about the other object? It is not able to go. Of course, it can go, right? We can choose a drop down to in order to update that now I want it to go to the second object. Let me just click it here. So it finds the truck. Okay, I need to do it here. Yeah. So now it finds the truck. That's super. Let me just make it 3 and let's see whether it is able to do it or not. Now, if I'm going to click it, it is going to the third person. That width of the third person, it is able to find that, yeah, this is correct, right? So now, but did you observe one thing here? The major problem was a manual thing, right? Okay. What I was doing was all manually, right? That means I'm updating the values manually. And that is, of course, we don't want. If we are, as a human, able to make my machine intelligence, of course, we need an automation. And that is why the reason is we have created the objects. And as soon as I would bring my variable, okay, object, and I'll put this object inside this option, okay, so that all the things can be updated automatically. I don't need to change them manually, and this is the reason I'm putting up object variable. Now, of course, I would require it to put it inside the repeat, okay, but let me, before put in repeat, let me just show you the small implementation. If I click on green flag, the object is set it to 0. It has analyzed certain things. If I click on this 3 blocks, is it going to work? No. Can anyone tell me why exactly right now I'm not getting any of the answer? Can any educator would like to tell us that why exactly I'm not able to get any answer? The reason behind is the object is 0, right? And I have used this object. So basically inside it is also 0. So my machine is saying, if I want a width of a 0 object, it won't be able to give me, right? So somewhere I need this 0 to be updated. Again, that should be automatically. I have to make something that this object get automatically updated from 1 to 2 to 3. It's not in the loop, exactly said. So now I'm going to put it inside the repeat. Okay. Now, how many times I want it to be repeated would be something that is the number of objects detected by machine. So this is going to help me to know how many times I want my this repeat block should work. Okay, so I'll keep it. Do you think is it going to work still now? Let me just show you it's not going to work. The reason again is still we have not added anything till here where I'm updating my object. I have set the object to 0 initially, still it's 0. Okay, I am repeating these set of blocks 3 times as per the number inside the block, but still I'm not updating it. So now I would choose a wonderful block that is change my object by 1. So every time this block is executed, you would be able to see it is getting updated by 1. I want you all to see the stage part. Okay, let me just try to show you this. Yeah. So I want you all to see on the object part on the stage. Every time I'm clicking it by this block, it is getting added. So every time I'm setting it 0, every time I'm changing it by 1. So what I'm going to do it here is initially I'll set it to 0, and now I would put it inside it that it changes 3 times, and I'll add both the sections. Okay. Now, if I'm going to press it, let's see whether it works or not. So now you can see it is able to detect. You might be thinking there are different blocks also available, or I should say different bounding box. So yeah, of course, that would be visible because we have a block that says show bounding box. Instead of this, since we are using our own bounding box, we can hide them. So you have to just click this hide bounding box and you would be able to remove them all. And now with a green flag, you would be, yeah, that's exactly said increment operator. So we are here basically using an increment block, which is going to increment the thing. Okay. So what I can do, if I don't want those blocks to be here, I can keep it on hide and I can put it here itself. And now I would be able to see my own block. I hope this is pretty clear that I can hide my blocks. If I'll be clicking on this, it would be hidden. And now this is completely working. Important thing here is not only that we can detect the objects in this image. You can, of course, detect the objects in any of the images you want. Apart from it, you can also find the objects in live, I should say in live camera. So let me just add a block here that says turn on the video on the stage, and let's see what happens. So now if I'll click it here, no, it is like a working little lag, just a sec. Now let me just click it again. So you can see it has detected me, and if I'll go close, even if it would be able to detect, right? You can see it is able to detect me. There are a number of things which can be easily detected, like objects like banana, and I should say the bottles and everything. I would like to show you a set of things which can be easily detected. So in this blocks, you would be able to see the block says is person detected. So basically all the classes which can be detected by this object detection extensions is here, like person, bicycle, motorcycle, airplane, bus, train, truck, and many other. animals, many other useful items at home, many other eating things like hot dog, carrot, broccoli. Apart from it, a daily use things like toothbrush, hair dryer, and many other things can be easily detected here. It's not saying bus to me. So it depends that it is, see, if you see this bus, of course, it's little like a truck. So it is able to detect it as a truck. So the more clearer the image would be, the more clear the detection it would be able to give. Okay. Since, as we know, the machines are of course intelligent, but they cannot be very intelligent at all the time. To make them intelligent, we have to keep updating them. Okay, and right now the model which we are using is of object detection. We are working on this object detection offline. That means we are not using an internet. So that is why of course its detection is very good. It would be able to detect each and everything uh, which is I said it is in the list. But of course, if you require to make your own models, that is another part of the session which we would be covering soon. So now I hope the things are pretty clear. You have understood it clearly. Now I would like to just show you some important points, how the things happens in the phone. So just let me just share my screen of a phone. Till the time, if you want, you can ask your question. Sir, could we directly change analysis image from camera? So yeah, of course, image can be, I'm sorry, image can be easily changed. You have to upload a new backdrop, and even if you want to change it in the script, you can do it by using a block which says change the backdrop. So if you have multiple backdrop, you can use this next backdrop, put it somewhere here, okay, under this, so that it can change to next backdrop, and every time in the new image, you would be basically able, you would be able to find the things very easily. Okay, so I hope the things are okay. How can we do that? Okay, for that I would require one more image actually. Okay, so you can upload and try from your end. Still, if you find any issue, of course, I can help you with that. Okay, so if you have any questions, please feel free to put it forward. Let me just show you a small output of the implementation on a different image. Just a sec. Yeah. So here is basically how you can do the things in smartphone. So if you are working on a smartphone, you would be able to basically see a choose sprite option, like here you can see on the top of your smartphone. So when you want to choose a sprite, or I should say how to upload a video, you cannot upload a video directly on the PictoBlox. You can upload a GIF, but not the video directly. Okay, so now once you would be working on the smartphone, on the top you would be able to see this option, which is going to help you to add a sprite. That means the sprite which you want to add would be, as I said, you have to work with the sprite of a square box, right? So you have to choose the square box. The next thing what you have to do is you have to upload a backdrop as well. So you have to click on the backdrop option, and then you have to upload a backdrop, choosing a backdrop option from the backdrop setting. Okay, so I hope my, okay, just a sec. I hope my screen would be pretty visible. So I'll try to show you this. So you can go to the phone. Okay, you can just click on the new screen or a new project. Once you are here, it is going to load a little bit for getting into your PictoBlox. Okay, let me just refresh. Actually, my PictoBlox has been opened in my phone. It's not loading here in the app. Yeah, here it is. So here, as I said, you can just click on this sprite option to add a sprite, and you can get a sprite library from where you can select the sprite of your choice, that is the square box, which you would be able to find inside the sprite library. Once you have added an sprite, you can even delete your own sprite by clicking on the already selected sprite, and you would be getting an option to delete it. If you want to work with, yeah, if you want to work with the backdrop option, you would be able to do it by clicking on a backdrop option. Okay, so I'll try to show you. This is a square box which you can select. Okay, once you have selected a square box, then of course you can just delete the particular sprite which you don't want to work it. That would be a Toby. So actually it's a little lagging on my screen. Yeah, so here basically once you click on this sprite option, you would be able to see the delete. This is the delete option. And once you have done it, then if in case you want to edit like upload a backdrop, so you have to click on backdrop option. That is the first option. Once you click it there, you will get an edit option. You have to click on that edit option. That is going to take you to the backdrop setting. In the backdrop setting at the bottom, basically you are going to see a add backdrop option. From there, you can of course upload the backdrop by choosing the right hand side option at the bottom corner. So this is the backdrop settings. So once you click on this, you would be able to see an edit option, which is going to take you to the backdrop option, or I should say backdrop settings. Once it is here, you can easily click on this add backdrop option at the bottom side. This is going to basically help you to add a backdrop. Once you have clicked in here, you can see this is an upload backdrop option. Once you'll click it here, it is going to ask you for to allow the access. Once you've allowed the access, you can upload any of the images, even from your library of your phone, or I should say from your local phone space. Now it's again a very important part that once in same as you did in the I should say your laptop or desktop, that once you are back to the coding area, it's really necessary that you click on the sprite level. Right now you can see the backdrop is selected, no motion blocks were there. So when I'm going to select the sprite, then only these motion blocks would be visible. So I hope this is pretty clear with all the educators, right? So let me just. Yeah, still to give you a recap. So what we did, we added a sprite square box. We clicked on the backdrop option. We got this backdrop option. We clicked on the add backdrop, and then we uploaded the backdrop from our side. And this was what we expected and happened. Like we were able to find the different objects in the different images. Now coming to the part coming to a part that what you can do it by yourself is we want you to try some other finding different objects around you. So you can just try to make a program where it detects the different objects and you can classify them as a biodegradable and a non-biodegradable waste. So I hope that is going to like make a little fun for you. Now again on to the last part that I wanted to cover is like if you have not joined the Telegram group, please join our Telegram group so that we can help you to get your all issues resolved. We want all of you to keep sharing your videos, your I should say your pictures of the projects what you are making, so that we can of course feel motivated, and that is going to help us a lot. Apart from it, we would request you to please fill up the attendance form. As I have already told, again I would like to tell you that we have two different forms for two different communities, like all the educators from around the world and India are going to fill up the first form, that is attendance and educator feedback form for all educators. Only the educators who have joined us through the Atal Innovation Mission, we want them to fill up the second form. Even in your LMS, just below the video section, you would be able to see these forms. So make sure that you fill for educators around the world. Of course, it's the first form, and especially for the educators who have joined us through the Niti Aayog, please fill the second form. That's really, really very important. Apart from it, as you know, we are keeping our doubt sessions for all of you. For links for the doubt session would be of course given in the Telegram and would be also visible on your course section. The doubt sessions would start from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. and the second doubt session would start from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. that is Indian Standard Time. Okay, the first form not opening. Okay, let me just get it checked. Still, if we, I think I would request Tina to please check on this.
Ayush, I have checked that it is working perfectly.
Okay, so there might be some network issues, sir. If
Yeah.
you're finding, don't worry, please click on the second. Even if you want, you can just please scan the QR code and of course, I should say, fill the feedback form. I hope you have enjoyed the today's session. Before moving ahead, I would like to take the doubts of all the educators and some of the again doubts which were collected by our specialized trainer like Vivek and Tina, so that of course we can answer all of them. So yeah, so if you have any of the doubts, teachers, educators, please feel free to put it forward on the chat. We are going to help you with that.
Yeah, Ayush, shall I ask the doubts
Yeah, sure,
of our
sure.
educators?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we have a question like how to save the program file in mobile phones.
Okay, how to save the in mobile phones? Of course, this is very important. So I hope you would be all able to see my screen right now. So this is a save option, dear teachers, that once you can see this floppy, I'll just click on it here. And once you'll click on it, you would be able to get an option to save it. So let me just try to annotate it so that it is clearly visible. So yeah, this is the save option. Once you'll click it here, you can just name the project. So right now, I'll just name it like XYZ. Okay, just give me a sec. So it's, yeah, here it is. So let no just save it as XYZ. You have to click on done option. Once you click on done, you have to click on save and the file would be saved. So since I'm like using some mirror thing for my phone to share the things. So yeah, so but this is the option to click and save the file, which can be seen into MySpace. Thanks, Suraj, for a wonderful comment.
The next question is, what is the last date to register for level 2 International Bootcamp?
Okay, so that's like a pretty good question. Today was the, of course, last day to register to get you the kits on time, but you don't have to worry. As I said, this bootcamp is going to be there. The sessions would remain there. The learning resources would be there with you. Okay, so you can even enroll it today, tomorrow to get your kits delivered. Even if that is getting delivered after first or second session, you don't need to worry. The kit is going to be in your hand. The session is with you. The learning content is with you. And as I said, it's not really that important that you submit your assignments daily on time. I should not say this, but yeah, you have to like take out your time to submit your assignments as soon as possible. Okay, so even if you are getting the kits a little delayed by 1 or 2 sessions, you don't need to worry. You can order the kit right now so that we'll try to get it delivered ASAP to you. So you can enroll it by today and tomorrow.
Okay. So the next question is also like, when are the educators expect AI kits?
Okay,
I think that's
so
already covered.
yeah, as I said, the AI kit is expected to be delivered at your doorstep before the boot camp, or it would be nearly like it totally depends upon when you have ordered, when you have like of course selected to getting it delivered. So we are trying our level best. Maximum of the kits have already been dispatched from our end. It can be delivered anytime at your doorstep, and we are trying to with our logistic team to get it delivered ASAP. So you do
Okay. Yeah. One more thing, Ayush. Are there any extra delivery charges that educators need to pay during the delivery time?
So yeah, there is no actually delivery charges on it, but still for the questions on this, I would request you to please put it into an email and forward it to education@thestempedia.com, because we have our complete team to answer this logistic question. So please forward this question to education@thestempedia.com. You will definitely get a reply within few hours.
Yeah, that's all, Ayush.
Okay, so I hope everything is pretty clear for everyone. And now, still, if you find any difficulty, you can always feel free to put it forward in Telegram group so that we can help you to get all the things resolved. Also, do not forget to join our doubt session in case of any of the doubts, whether it's related to the concept, the activity, and some of the questions I can see, because some things require a one-on-one live mentoring, that our mentors would be looking into your device, that what exactly is happening, why exactly your camera is not working, why exactly your I should say this is not working, your script is not working, right? So this is very important for us to look into it, and that is why we have our doubt session, which are going to start from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. and from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. So you can please feel free to join there. And in case of any problem, please uh, ask the questions to our mentors in the doubt session, and please join. Let me just clear the screen. I think I just forget to remove this error. Okay. Yeah. So please join our Telegram group. In case of any doubt, any queries, please feel free to reach out to us. I hope you have enjoyed the session, and you have definitely might have learned a new thing, a new way to find the objects near you through your machines. And I hope to have the wonderful project videos, wonderful uh, objects detected by the PictoBlox, and you can also share your screenshot detecting many of the objects in the Telegram. That is of course we can you never know, can take it tomorrow to the session. Okay, so that was all from my end. Yeah, thank you educators, thanks for joining in, taking out your valuable time. Please submit your assignments on the dashboard. In case of any queries, join the doubt session. Yeah, over to you, Tina.
Yeah, thank you, Ayush. That was really a wonderful session, Ayush. The concept of the object detection is pretty clear now, and we are super excited to do the activity. And once again, all the educators, thank you on behalf of all the STEMpedia family. Let's connect tomorrow, same time, same with another topic. Bye. Take care.